I'm Hannah Kaminsky, author of My Sweet Vegan, and today I'm going to show you how to make whoopie pies. These are always a favorite whenever I make them for family or book signings. They're just always eaten up, never any leftovers. So first thing you want to do is take your apple cider vinegar and combine it with soy milk. Whisk it together, and then just let that sit so it can curdle. And next thing you're going to want to do is get out your sifter and your dry ingredients, which is all-purpose flour, Dutch processed cocoa. I have two kinds here. You can just use one. And then baking powder and baking soda, which are your leaveners, and salt. And it's really important to sift these together, which is a step that I find a lot of people skip, because your cocoa often has clumps in it, and that's really nasty to get just a clump of dry ingredients in a cookie. It also helps to combine everything thoroughly. See, you don't want that in a cookie. It'd be really gross. And then just whisk that briefly to combine everything. So now, you're gonna come over to your stand mixer and use buttery stick margarine of your choice. Just be careful to look at the ingredients, because even regular, like dairy-free margarine sometimes have animal ingredients, so just read labels. And to that, you're gonna add regular granulated sugar and dark brown sugar. And I find that a lot of people don't actually pack the brown sugar to measure it, which is contrary to what I was always taught. So I always pack my brown sugar for every recipe. So make sure that you do that, or you'll get too little. It won't be as sweet or flavorful. And you'll cream those together. That's nicely creamed. You can see that it's all just homogeneous. There are no lumps of anything in there. You wouldn't want big pieces of margarine, because then they would melt in the top of your cookie and you would get big craters. Also not as nice. So next thing you want to do is put the vanilla into the soy milk. You'll see that now it's a bit thicker from the vinegar. It should be a little bit curdled. And you start adding these in. Take the dry ingredients, just add in, lift this up. Add in a good couple of scoops, nothing precise, don't go crazy. Looks good. And mix that briefly to combine it. And while that goes, you want to add in some of the wet. Also not precise. The first additions are the most important, where you make sure that everything is getting combined evenly. Because after you start adding in more and it gets more to the consistency that you want, it's harder to go back and fix things. You'll want to scrape down the sides. Make sure you're getting everything in there. And then go for more of your dry. Go back to the wet. Just a little bit left. And I think we can finish all the dry ingredients in this round. And finally, the rest of the wet. So that's just about smooth. Scrape down the sides again, make sure you're not missing anything. And the last thing you'll want in here is the sour cream. And this is a vegan sour cream. It's made by Tofuti. There are a bunch of different brands you can find. They all work just as well. And you can also substitute for soy yogurt if you can't find this, or pureed tofu. There are many different things. It's just a consistency thing. And just stir it until there are no more ribbons of the white. You don't want to overmix it at this point. Okay, so our batter is now done, and you can use an ice cream scoop to portion these out. I really like using a little one to make mini sandwiches, but you can also use any size you want. Just make sure you space them really well because they do spread. Also try to get level scoops if you can so that they're all about the same size. It's not a big deal if they aren't. And just keep going until you have no more batter. Okay, so this is the last one now. All right. And you're gonna put these into an oven that's preheated to 350 degrees. I like to bake these one at a time so that they bake more evenly. And also, it keeps the heat in there so you don't get really cold spots or really hot spots. Those are good. Okay, and let's make the frosting. Start with shortening, vegetable shortening. Slippery. Confectioner's sugar. Try not to get a big cloud like that. And you'll want to start this on low. It'll start looking really dry, which is why you add in soy milk. And let those combine a little bit so it gets smoother. You can add in the vanilla. And this is also a good place that you can add in whatever flavor you like mint or almonds, any extract, it's perfect. Just go for it. And now you can bring up the speed a bit. No danger of things flying out. Okay, and that's more or less smooth. I like to use a pastry bag because it's much neater, a lot easier for me just because I've been using them for so long. But you can also use 2 spoons and scrape them into it, spatula, whatever you have handy. Not really important. Okay, good enough. All right. Take your cooled cookies. And you want to make sure that they're completely cool, because if you start to work with these while they're still hot, they'll either fall apart or melt the frosting, so not good either way. Construction is simple. 1 cookie down, frosting, 1 cookie on top. Done. And you just repeat with all of your cookies and all your frosting. And we're done. I'm Hannah Kaminsky. Thanks for joining me. You can get this recipe at everydaydish.tv, and you can also see other vegan recipes by me at my blog at bittersweetblog.wordpress.com. Bye.